Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Raul, and I'm here with my boy Mike once again, and
That's me.
welcome to the third episode of the AO podcast. Now,
Mhm.
before we get into it, as always, links for all of our socials and also to listen to the podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify. All the links for those and also in our socials will be down in the description. And now this is the third episode, and I'm not gonna lie, coming off of the second episode, which I think has become a favorite for both of us.
Yeah. Even
Um,
that first episode is so stupid. Like it's such a stupid
that was
episode.
you know what makes that episode great is the fact that it took a turn that we never thought, like we didn't think that we're gonna fucking end up talking about porn for like a
Stop!
majority of
We
the
were
episode.
trying not to
I
bring
do,
it up.
okay, I just remembered you didn't want me to bring it up, but I mean, I'm just saying that was an iconic
Yes.
way to start. But,
Yes.
and then
We're gonna tone it down. This is
yeah,
the only time I'm gonna mention it this episode
yeah,
too.
but then, because here's the thing. So it went that direction, and then it built up with the second episode because we fucking went back to it.
We it was like, oh, you guys wanted more porn talk from losers? Here's the second episode. So
But that second episode
yeah.
is fucking iconic.
It's pretty funny hearing that.
I-
And not only that, my little comments too, like I catch because I say them for me, but then I hear the recording and I hear myself saying this and I'm like, that's so stupid. That's so, like
No, but oh, yeah. What the fuck? What did you say? Because I caught one. I caught one when you said it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what the fuck are you?" It was Oh no, you're a fucking dumbass. I just remembered. So that the fucking thing you said, and like I like how you said that you do it just for you. When you have a fucking microphone in front of you, and you know that we're recording, so what you think is just not gonna like pick it up. And so in this last episode, when I was talking about how when I was getting ready for Nick to pick me up for the event, I was I was talking about how I was eating some chicken tacos, and this motherfucker, all you hear is you just put your fucking face up to the mic and you're like, yum. I was editing that fucking video, and I was like, did he just fucking say yum?
oh my god, that made me laugh so hard. Holy shit.
Because it's like, bro, did you, like, because the thing is, I edit these fucking episodes, so did you not think that I was gonna see it?
By the way, oof. Oh man. But I say a lot of them that I forget what I say. One of the ones we caught together when listening to the first episode was like when you're talking about going to the porn convention, but then it's like I go on like a little tiny tangent of me being like it's gonna be all smelly and musty and
Oh, yeah.
like, some like and like the way I lingered on was made me laugh so much. But I'm glad it's paying off in the long run because it's just one absurd thing about the other. By the way, we're high as a kite, and we were high as a kite. That's when we're coming down. That's why I'm laughing so hard because that shit is really fucking funny. But like, we're gonna talk about being high later. Right
But,
now,
yeah.
we're gonna talk about
But
what do we want to talk about.
like, okay, so,
What a great way to start, by the
yeah,
way.
that was amazing. You and your fucking ad-libs, bro. But, so, I wanted to talk about something that was literally world-changing that I believe in May, actually. It's officially going to be 4 years since it happened.
March.
Or March, my
Yeah.
bad. March. It's going to be officially 4 years since this happened. But I want to go back to 2020. And oh boy, what a fucking time that was. I still remember, because I was still going to college at the time. And I had classes. And I had and the thing too is one of the classes was, because I had to do like the physical education physical education
Yeah.
portion of
I'm still thinking of Yum. I'm so sorry.
yeah. No, but so I still have to do the physical education requirement for the courses. So I ended up taking yoga because
Mhm.
I was like, oh, yoga, this shit's gonna be a breeze. Well, I
No, that
was
shit's hard.
yeah, I was wrong. But so I think we maybe got in 2 weeks
It was two
of
weeks.
yeah of actual school when they fucking finally told us that like they were gonna lock everything down. Um,
You know what's crazy too. But the school we went to, but like it was one of the last schools to really shut down when everything hit. So like we could have gotten into a lot of serious shit if it did it just if it kept going. The fact that it kept going that long to be in that certain school we went to was like, oh shit, no, this is not right. But like I was also in school. I actually the semester before the pandemic, I was me and like a few of my theater arts friends were coming off like of a semester of really great theater in our community, which was and we were that made us, you know what, that's fucked up too, because like if you had a really great end of the year, that beginning of that year, especially in the arts, you're like, oh, I thought we were gonna do things.
no, you know what I kind of look back at and I feel really bad for. Like, bro, imagine if this would have taken place during our senior year of high school.
Yes, the younger Gen Zers out there that had to transition elementary, middle, and their high school years into the pan. Because my little brother went through that. He was in like his sophomore fresh. He was in his freshman year actually. Had the second half of his freshman year when the pandemic shit happened, which was I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that, you know. So
Yeah,
it
like,
was a, you know, you look back at you look back at it as a piece of history, like especially as time keeps going, it's like, bro, they it's kind of insane. And even we're still feeling with the aftermaths now, like, you know, there's tons of resurgence out there. There's still tons of like of the virus up there, you know. It hasn't changed that much. It's just the fact we're able to adapt to it.
but
It took a while to adapt
but no,
though.
it's crazy though because it did change a lot. Like, I even remember my niece was graduating. I don't know if it was kindergarten or but I still remember because of the lockdowns, they literally did drive-by graduations, like where my niece had to like stand outside of the house with her robe, and the teacher would like drive by and hand her certificate.
Mm,
Um, but it changed a lot, and so I kind of want to circle back to when it first happened.
hmm
What what was your first initial thought when you finally realized how bad it actually was and that we were gonna have to stay inside?
You know, it's like I can't even think of a single thought because of just the process. I remember just the process of thoughts of me realizing, oh, this is because my one of my professors was actually doing a show who had to cancel his show at that he was directing, but like he was saying like 2 weeks before the whole shutdown happened, when like COVID was making the news, it was like being like, oh, this is like happening quick, this is happening quick, you know. But like he was saying like, I just don't trust this government to be able to handle this efficiently, so I'm just gonna pack as go to the market while it's still in its infancy, and being just be prepared, and I advise you guys to do that much. And honestly, I was just like, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. And then like a week later, it's like, oh, it's getting really fucking bad. I'm like, yeah, no, the thing like everything's gonna shut down. And I remember at the time when people were talking about were talking about a potential shutdown everywhere. People were like, they say this shutdown my you know might last till August. And at the time, people were like, oh my god, August is so long. And then we actually experienced it. None of us knew how bad it was gonna get.
No, yeah,
Because this an event like this in history hasn't happened in like 600 fucking years,
no,
or
but
in the western region of the of the world, you know.
But so I remember when I started to realize how bad it actually was. It was kind of for me at first. It wasn't that hard of a transition, just because, as I mentioned, I believe I mentioned in the last episode, I'm more of a homebody, so I do tend to stay home quite often. I mean, I still do go out and hang out with my friends and do stuff, but so when it first initially got announced that we were gonna have to stay inside, I it didn't really necessarily affect me at the start, but I think as we started to see that this wasn't something that was going to be going away anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it kind of started to sink in a little bit more, and I'm like, "Fuck!" Like, I'm really gonna have to like not go anywhere. And you know what was one thing that really changed for me during that time, and actually, I think might have changed for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to my personal phone etiquette, I would definitely say I'm more of a texter than I am a caller. But I have to say during that time, I legit probably spent the most time on the phone with people than I ever have in my entire life.
Yes, especially us. Like during this time, we I think we were calling a lot of people because it was just like a time of crisis for the whole world. So we're all just calling people, making sure we're okay, and like trying to keep in touch. But like sometimes late at night, we'll call. It's either because like we're high or like we're too high and we need someone we trust, which we obviously do. But like but then like these conversations, like I've had my longest conversations on my phone with you is like we went on for like hours during
Yeah, and
during
that's
that
and
time.
that's the thing too. Like, it wasn't for me. I mean, we had really long phone calls, but I also had at the time, um, me me and our boys Rob and Nick, who I went to the convention with. At this time we had an old group chat that we since like kind of restarted, and we did another one. But we used to have an old group chat on Instagram, and literally during that time we would like FaceTime each other like often. And let me tell you, those FaceTime calls between those two were some of the best memories that I've ever had.
I
And
can't even imagine.
yeah, and then also, I don't know, it was just a very different time because you had to essentially hang out with people virtually.
Yeah, which
And
was hell on earth.
yeah, and it was insane. And I remember that it started off with the phone calls between me and you. And I want to share a moment from one of these um, specific phone calls where you told me quite possibly one of the least creative things you ever said, but somehow still managed to make it fucking hilarious. I don't even remember what the conversation was revolving around, but somehow I think you were trying to give an example. You were trying to give
I
an
was
example.
I remember the joke. I don't remember the context of the joke, but I remember the joke and the fact that I was really high. And also another thing that happened in the pandemic, I basically just turned into a stoner. It's just
Oh yeah, that was a big thing
yeah,
for you, huh?
that's like it's affected me for better and for worse. But like that's just because like there was nothing for like I was working at like a fucking McDonald's, which was crazy to think about, and also a McDonald's not only during the pandemic, during the Travis Scott burger.
Oh yeah, I remember that
That
shit.
oh my god, stupid motherfuckers. I thought I was clean because like I wasn't there during like the Szechuan sauce there, and I heard that was a fucking terrible time. But being in the pandemic and having to make one quarter pounder after another for these stupid fucking children, and by children I mean fucking 29-year-olds and their 19-year-old girlfriend. It's just-
Go on, because you're just gonna make it worse.
But like I was like, but like I was like, I need something else. I was like, so it was just like I just got more acquainted with the drug that is marijuana, and someone who I knew was already like an acquaintance of some sort of like he knew
Acquaintance, bro. At that point, we were best fucking friends.
you and no, you and the weed.
That's what I meant.
Oh,
I was
okay.
following your logic.
Oh, okay,
if you were
okay.
paying attention.
I wasn't following you, but like I was like, yo, want to just we don't go out, we're not going out. Like you want to just
wait. I want to get right back to my point real quick because
Yeah.
I kind of am forgetting it. What the hell was I talking about before you started?
Oh,
No,
man.
the joke.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
during one of these phone calls, I forgot you were saying something and then you were going to give an example. And then I think like the example
to the mic.
The example started off like Phil, Jill, and Dill.
He was like,
And then it was supposed to build up to something, but I was just stuck at the fact that you said Phil, Jill, and Dill because that was like the least. Because let me tell you something. This was the least creative thing you ever said because this is somebody who once, while we were working together on the food truck, which we will get into eventually.
No.
But you literally said one time. I remember this. I think we were. I think it was like we had slowed down.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any customers at the time.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, during that time when we didn't have any customers, we would literally just make food for ourselves.
That food was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good food.
I really miss the boneless wings, dude.
The mozzarella sticks. Ever since like I can't eat mozzarella sticks anymore because of like I'm thinking of the certain one we got.
But anyways, so when we were slowed down and this motherfucker was gonna make himself some mozzarella sticks. Now, mind you, this was before you like started smoking heavily too.
Yes.
So you were completely sober when you said this. And so he's like he puts a basket of mozzarella sticks in the fryer, and this motherfucker turns to me and asks me, "What if?" He's like, "Do you think mozzarella sticks make noise?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, yeah, they fucking get fried up when you put them in the fryer. What the fuck are you talking about? Do they make noise? Like,
I was completely sober when I said this. Like I can't even say that. Actually, I said something earlier really high that shocked you.
Yeah.
But like, so I could still bring it out of me.
yeah, but so anyway, so I'm just giving that example to say that's how creative you can be with this shit. But fucking Phil, Jill, and Dill, I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Like I was like, I was trying to like make up names for like a story, like a story or like a made up story I was going on like it was already like in the deep end. It was like 3 hours into the conversation, like we were already like in deep, with each other. Pause, and then it's and then I was like, okay. I remember like the tone I said it to. I was like, okay, so here it is. Like, what was it? Phil,
Jill, and Dill.
Phil, Jill, and Dill. And then I stayed silent.
Oh, yeah, and then you just stopped because I think that's when I started laughing because, like, what the fuck? Like, you couldn't have came up with anything else?
Like, can you come up with, like, some other names besides you literally just, like, replace the letter? Like,
yeah, I think that was the big thing that I told you, too. Like, it was literally, you said the same name, but just replace the first letter.
Well, a lot of names have like it's just that.
No, but
like
look,
Darren, Karen,
shut up.
Marin.
Marin, I fucking hate you. But so, anyways, so that was probably one of my favorite phone calls that we ever had during that period.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to like fast forward a little bit. Once it was still going on. And it was still pretty like people still weren't going outside, but I think we ended up getting comfortable enough to where I would go over to your house.
Yeah.
And we actually did this. We started doing this quite often. I think I was like at your house like every other week.
Yeah.
And this was literally the era of since we like literally didn't have anything else to do. We just hung out in your room, smoked weed.
Boxes of pizza.
Yeah, Little Caesars. Shout out to
man.
Little Caesars, dude.
Yeah.
Little Caesars held us down.
Yeah, and they're an
time.
actual like good company that's done good shit.
Yeah,
know?
and so, but shout out to Little Caesars, and so it was so many great moments happened in that time, like especially for YouTube, like I think, was it you that put me onto In the Clutch?
No, I think you were already.
Or no, no, no.
You put me
Yeah,
on in the
no, I think
clutch.
I did because I showed you their reactions to the WWE stuff.
Yeah, but I was already like aware of them because they did like a funny reaction to like the Tyler freestyle to
Oh
on
yeah,
Funk
yeah, yeah,
Flex.
the front flex.
Like, it was like
No, but
buff net fighting butt sex and shit.
yeah, yeah,
It was
no,
something
no.
like that.
But so shout out to In the
Not
Clutch.
the best recreation of that freestyle,
But shout out to In the Clutch. They have a super dope YouTube channel, and we've been fans for a while.
and the videos at the time, especially they were reacting to, like brought out like the energy. They their best energy. The specific one we're talking about was that we watch all the time because we're high eating pizza and we just watch it all the time. Was like the bad acting montage because I love those just by themselves, like a montage of just bad acting. You know, I love doing that. I love watching those. I love that. So like it's the fact that have these two reacting to it in the best way possible was always fun to watch.
But so we literally spent most of our time just doing that.
Yeah, summer 2020 was just pizza in the clutch and weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now wait. So one thing that I did want to ask
No
you.
bitches here. All right.
One thing that I did want to ask you is, do you remember a specific thing that happened during the lockdown where you're like, it made you really think, you're like, man, like this world's like, it's really getting crazy out there. Like for example, like the toilet shortage that happened.
Toilet paper shortage?
Yeah.
I was like, this was short of toilet? Like people are stealing like toilets from the house and like shit?
No, like the shortage of toilet papers, but like, cause I don't know if you have one, cause I do. I have
toilet?
Shut up. I have a specific video that I remember that I saw that was posted on Twitter at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And it really made me realize like the depth of like how deep we were into this thing. I'll never forget, bro. It was a video that starts off, it's a dude riding in the middle, like I'm pretty sure there was like maybe like a riot or something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a fire that was happening on to like the left side of the street. And I'll never forget, the video is a dude riding a horse.
Yeah, during one of the riots.
Yeah. Riding a horse through the street, and like there's people like filming on the side.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like
there's multiple perspectives too.
As he's riding through the street, somebody on the side yells like, "Hey man, where'd you get that horse?" And he gives quite possibly one of the best responses I've ever heard. He's like riding off into the freaking riot sunset, and he's like, "From the police." He literally just stole a fucking police horse.
That's one of the most gangster things I've ever seen in my life. That's like some like motherfucking like Call of Duty Civil War type shit. Like that's so dope. That's such a dope video.
Yeah, that was literally probably one of my that I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck
that
the police,
video
by the way.
That video gave me hope.
Yeah.
I was like, even
in the midst of the worst things now, and even now it's not. I think it's just as bad as it's been, but like it's like that gives me hope that people are like able to look badass while doing those badass things. You know, it's just great stuff. It does bring in a shine of light into, because June 2020, I always say that was like one of the worst period of my life. Like when you came in, like because we didn't hang out till like July.
Yeah,
there's a lot of shit going on. I'm not even gonna mention it because so it's just like, and I wanted to mention it too, but I'm like, we talked about porn all the time. Yeah, I'll bring it up probably at episode 159. So.
So do you have anything that you remember that was super crazy that you like got to see during that time?
What did I see?
Honestly, it's not, because that toilet paper shortage thing was also pretty wild.
That was crazy. Honestly, I think for me, it's like expected to look for like a lot of shit outside, like just in the world happening to be just real crazy. But I just saw like a lot of is more like depressing and internal. Like I saw like a lot of people reveal themselves in these types of crisis and situations of who they are, and like I've seen a lot. I saw a lot of that, which really like there was a lot of like tension going on from everywhere within like groups and circles, you know. So it's just like, you know, like the anti-vax shit, you know, that like and all that stuff. But like that wasn't until later on. But even at the beginning, just survival instincts and like express people showing their true nature is it's a wild thing. It's not as like wild or like us like the other horse stuff and all
I
that.
like
But
how yours was super fucking dark and serious, and
yeah.
I was just trying to talk about a dude
Listen.
riding off into the sunset with a police horse.
But like, I think it's still funny because I find that funny.
Wait,
of people
okay,
like
'cause I think like, you gotta clarify that. You just literally, it sounds like you say you like conflict.
it's not even conflict. It's like the satisfaction of knowing, oh well, that's who you are. Okay, fuck you.
Okay.
And then looking back in hindsight, I was like, well, that was like, oh shit, dots connect. I find that, you know, and by the end of it, educational and learning experience. That being said, like someone stealing a horse from the cops, that's like some like Call of Duty fucking like Michael Bay type shit. That's empowering. That's when I think of America, I think of that.
Oh, you
like,
think of a dude on a horse?
a dude on a horse. He stole from the police.
No,
That makes it 100 times better.
It does.
It's not like it's a white dude on a horse. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, lives matter. And then like that just makes everything badass that could be badass is not badass anymore. It's the fact that he stole it from the police, and there's multiple camera perspectives, and the way he's riding the horse too.
Yeah.
Is so fucking badass. It's one of the best videos ever to come out
But-
post pandemic.
so
Not post pandemic, but what the fuck ever. Go on.
So, just kind of to transition out of those, like just to finish that part off, I just want to say that was a super wild time, and it's crazy that we literally got to experience it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like
Not by choice.
Yeah, no, well, obviously we didn't fucking choose that shit, but so I want to say that I'm super happy that obviously shit worked out and the fucking world didn't end, but it was something that was surreal that we literally got to experience in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of transitioning out of that,
Yeah.
I want to
Wasn't
get
fun.
into
Even though we're still being affected by it, there's still been progress and there's still been hope. So let's try to focus on that.
Yeah, and so to kind of transition out of that, so one proponent that Mike mentioned that he really got into during this time is weed.
The marijuanas.
And so, like I mentioned earlier, around this time I had already been smoking, and this is where you like kind of just started smoking more.
Yeah.
And so this was a very fun period because it got us to thinking about, the times where we just did a little too much and we didn't really know how to handle it. So now we're going to be talking to you guys about some of the times where we just got a little too high.
Just a little itsy bitsy. Just
Now,
tiny
do you want to
bitsy.
start or do you want me to start?
I kind of want you to start because
Okay.
I have a couple stories, but I know one's a little more like life lessony and embarrassing than fun. I still think it's funny, but it leans more towards like a better sweetness. But like I have one that's also funny, but like
Okay, wait. So
go you
but
should.
real quick, do you want me to give? Because I have like a kind of a short story, and then I have kind of a longer story.
I actually want to ask you about the story if the story because like is it still the highest you've ever gotten? Like the bong one?
That's what I was gonna tell you. Do you want me to? Because I was gonna say that one, but then I also had like a shorter one.
Yeah, let's start short first.
All right, so
Like you.
shut the fuck up, dude. But so,
I'm short too. No
So-
offense.
but the thing that happened was around I want to say this was it had to be in 2018 when this happened, and at that time, that was before like I started going to all the super like big licensed dispensaries that were in downtown LA mostly.
Yeah.
This is when I was still going to the little like trap shops that we have around here. And I'll never forget, there was a specific spot where I used to go, and it was like a 2-story building, and there was a dude in front, like literally outside in the front of the building, that just had like a table and a chair. And he would like check you in, and then you would go all the way upstairs, and the shop was in there.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget one time, I don't know if I think I might have I forgot who I went with that to the shop that specific time, but I'll never forget, I sign in, I go upstairs, and as I'm buying my stuff, the bud tender tells me, she's like, "Oh, you actually qualify for a free dab." Now, at the time, I hadn't unless you consider like taking a hit off a pen of dab, but at that time I wasn't smoking like live resin or like rosin or stuff like that. I was smoking distillate, which doesn't count because that shit sucks.
Yeah.
So I technically hadn't taken like a real dab yet. And so I decided to say, you know what, fuck it, like I'll do it. And so I'll never forget, she brings out a bong that has a dab attachment to it instead of a bowl. And she like heats it up from the bottom with the torch, and then she puts the dab in, and so I go and I take a hit. And so initially I did not feel it, but then I'll never fucking forget. So I buy my stuff, I walk out of the shop, and then I fucking realized, because as it's hitting me, I'm also realizing, fuck, I forgot I have to go downstairs. So I'm like, the fucking dab is like hitting me, and now I have to fucking climb down these stairs.
Just watching every step really slowly.
Yeah, and so that's more of the shorter story. But now to get into the real one, the real fun one. Now this is a story that we have shared between us countless times, and it is probably still one of my favorites.
You know what? Before we go into that, I want to share a real quick one, because I just realized this right now. I might replace this with one of the things, but like I just realized, like I think one of the more higher times I've gone recently was when I was last time we all hanged out here at your party, because I was crossfaded and I was drinking. We drank there was a lot of alcohol, and we drank all of the alcohol, and there was a lot of weed, and we did.
You know, the wild part to me is that our boy Nick brought, I believe it was a bottle of Patron. Yeah. And because he just wanted to, because he just had it at his house, and he wanted us to kill it. Yeah. And we fucking did, and it was me, him, and then I think Luis also took like 2 shots with us. By
the end of it, I was drinking. I'm not gonna front. I drink like the rest of it left. I'm not gonna front.
Oh no! Wait, you did?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what was the situation like. But like I was having fun too.
Yeah, it was a fun.
I was having fun too, but like that was like, but there was so much going on, and we ate. I remember I brought pizza, and all of you were like, "Oh, we also brought chicken." And like,
Nick brought chicken.
Nick brought chicken, and I was like, "Okay." He's like, "I think this is just a little too much food for all of us."
Wait a minute. Let me clarify something real quick. This motherfucker literally just said, "Oh, we thought it was too much food for us." At the end of that night,
Luis said that too.
I heard you though. But so at the end, towards the end of the night, once like it was starting to cool down, I'll never fucking forget. So these because I think I only got like maybe 3 slices of the pizza, and like Mike said, there was 3. They brought 3 boxes. I'll never forget, towards the end of the night, I think it was right before you left, you were literally fucking pissed, and you said out loud, you're like, What? Why is there no more pizza? Like, you were mad that there was no more fucking pizza, even though you're the one that brought it.
Most of it too. That's the thing. Not only did I bring it for all of you to eat, but like I did eat most of it too. And I was like, why is there no more pizza? I brought 3 boxes.
Wait. Now, real quick. Now, since you freaking got us on that subject, I just want to mention real quick because it was hilarious, and I don't think I talked about it on the podcast yet. But after that party, because here's the thing. I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned yet on the podcast, but so I'm not like, I do drink, but I'm not like a really big drinker. Like
Same.
I can't do like too much. Like I don't like getting super fucked up. Like I only like getting buzzed when I drink.
Yeah.
But this particular night, so the reason why we were hanging out and partying is because I had just gone back from Mexico. And it had been a while since I had seen the homies.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hang out with them. And so I threw a party. We were all chilling in my backyard. And like I said, my boy Nick had brought a bottle of Patron. And then Luis and Rob had gone to the store and they had bought a pack of Smirnoffs and then a pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
And only that there was an IPA there too.
Yeah, and then so I didn't drink the IPA though.
I drank this shit. I was drinking. That's probably the most I've drank in the. Oh, there's another story where I drank the most, but go on.
But then so, I remember we took and the thing too is the shot glasses that I was taking the shot out of was like it wasn't the short ones. It was like kind of the longer ones where it's kind of a little bit more like
the double shot.
Yeah. And so I took like maybe 3 or 4 of those, and I had also drank one of the Mikes and one of the Smirnoffs. And the thing is, after everybody left, like I didn't think I was that messed up because I didn't feel drunk, right? But so I'm like, I had changed, and like I was getting ready to just lay down and chill in my room. And I'll never forget, I went to the sink. I think it was like to wash my hands or something. And I'm just like standing there staring at the sink. And all of a sudden just fucking vomit everywhere, like on the sink. And I was just like, shit. Because it was like, because it was the first.
You were just staring at the sink.
It was the first initial vomit where you're like, oh fuck, this is going to keep going. And so it happened. And so then literally after that, I spent like 20 fucking minutes just cleaning up the sink.
Well, drunk as fuck too. Oh, that's the worst. Where you have to clean up your own shit.
Yeah, and but anyways, so kind of circling back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, that party, like I was. So not only I drank some of the Smirnoffs to get in, and then I drank some of the IPAs, and we kept doing shots from the Patron, and then like once people like it was a few. You know, it had some left, so like I was like, no one else is drinking it, so I'm drinking it. Not only that, we were getting super blazed.
Yeah, we were all also smoking.
Yeah, we were. You know what's fucked up too? My favorite moments when I'm like high or drunk is when I'm faded.
Yeah,
like
it is pretty fun.
Being high has its downfalls, and being drunk, I just don't like being drunk. But like, there's something with the blend of two, if mixed correctly, like a scientific experiment. It's like the funnest shit, and get a good group of people around you. Not the type of people who be like, hey, let's go like skin a cat or something. You know, it's just like you gotta get.
Okay, just go back to the high story, because what the fuck was that example? Jesus Christ.
Like, you know, like those
No, I don't know. Just go back
Me neither, but
what was the story? What? Just get to your story. What was the... Wait, but you said you had a short story about when you got high. So
when I got high. I think it was... You know what? But, like, that was, like, the highest I've got, like, highest and drunk. Like, the funnest, like, I had, like, drunk. I just wanted to say that. Because it was just, like, that whole party was just constant laughter. I thought that was just, like, a good memory to bring up. Yeah. But I do want to bring another high story like, another high story right now. But it also is, like, I'm, like, a side character in the story you're gonna tell. Because...
Okay, so do you just want me to say mine?
Yeah, say yours, because I'll add mine's after.
All right.
Because my perspective, perspective's fucking funny.
Okay, so Okay, so this happened a few years ago. I don't know. I don't know
It was
how
2018. It was
2018.
2018. Yeah, it was 2018.
Okay, so this happened in 2018. I'll never forget. You were having a party at your house for your birthday, and so you invited me in. Of course, all the homies, and I'll never forget. You had like your big TV set up in your garage in your backyard.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting on your couch playing.
And it was one of the bigger parties I've had too.
We were
in the
playing
house.
Mario Kart, right? The old school Mario Kart.
Like there was like tons of people there. People I didn't know were there. So
Yo, yeah, and then your sister also invited some of her friends, right?
yeah.
So we were there. We were playing Mario Kart on your big TV, and I'll never forget. At some point, I don't know if I can't remember if I also drank at this party or not.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had already been drinking, and then I'll never forget. Your sister brought her bong out.
Oh
and
yeah.
She had asked like if anybody wanted to take a hit.
Yeah, she
and
broke that.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, like yeah, for sure. And so I took a hit, and
Can I jump in now? Let me tell this. Let me jump in now, cause like I was like, hey, do you want a hit from the bong? And I wasn't gonna. I was already drunk and high. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. And also, not to add to the fact that most of our friends who were there were really fucked up. Like George was fucked up, Luis was fucked up, Eric was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of people just like having a good time too. It's like, but
No,
like,
but so-
but like, I see you get the bong, and I thought you already knew how to do like that was your first time using a bong. I didn't know that. I thought you already knew how to use the bong and shit. I don't know why I assumed that, but I gave it to you, like with the thought of you knowing how to use a bong. But like it's shit's all lit up. Put your mouth on it, and then and
oh yeah, I didn't know why I did this. By the way,
and then like you inhaled like as much smoke as you can, and like bongs are powerful.
Yeah.
They're powerful things.
And mind you, at this time, I still was like, I knew how to fucking use it, not except for this night apparently, but I hadn't really smoked out of bongs at this point.
Yeah, so
This had only been probably like my second time smoking out of a bong, to be honest.
yeah, and you're already like a little messed up. You probably drink and smoke just like blunts, so like joints too. So like you took as you literally, I saw you like a cartoon character, like inhaling yourself with the smoke, like as you without taking off the thing, and I'm like, what are you doing? Because like for non-smokers, you take off the fucking thing on the bong, the bowl, the fucking bowl. And then, like, it's just like, you get all the smoke and that's it. He just kept inhaling and inhaling and inhaling without taking out the thing. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then, like, he smokes, he lets out, like, a fucking dragon breath of fucking smoke.
Let me jump in real quick again. So, I let that first hit out, right? And in my mind, I was like, fuck, that was a really big hit. But, so that's why, I don't know why simultaneously right after that thought, I was like, let me go back in.
You let out this giant breath of fucking smoke, like a fucking dragon in like the air, like you make noise too, exhaling, which I've never heard.
Shut the fuck
You're like,
no, but so.
But then like you were like, and then you whip.
What the fuck am I, Rick Ross?
Like. And then, like, not only, like, you go back and you keep going, I had to just take it away from you.
But I took a second hit, though. I took, so...
Yeah,
after that big ass hit...
Not only that, you took a big second hit,
yeah.
too. Oh, shit. All right, go on.
And so I take the second hit, and initially I was fine, right? And then I had passed it on to you, so you also took a hit.
Yeah, speaking of that, like, I was like, okay, he's just letting all this smoke go into waste. Let me take it off and smoke it. Like, I looked at it, I was like, okay, this... shouldn't like I've done the weeds I like from time to time, so I think I'll be okay. And then I took it in, and then like as soon as I exhaled,
I kind of want to make "I've done the weeds" into a shirt.
I've done the weeds. It probably is, but like it's just like I was like, and I exhaled, and I was like, no. He was like, this is not gonna end well. And then I went to my room, I laid down on my bed, and then you come over.
Wait, but so let me switch over to my perspective.
Not only that, my friend David Pillar he was watching you do this, and he knows how to do that.
Yeah, but no. So, anyways,
and then he didn't stop you.
No, but
which is really funny. Good for him.
But so then I take my hit, and then I had passed over to you, and then you take your hit. But then like I said, we were playing Mario Kart, so everything was going good, and at one point, it kind of started to get to me, and I started to get a dry mouth. And so I was like, fuck. But luckily, right next to where we were sitting, you had a cooler with like sodas and shit in it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right. So I had it gone. I had, turned over to go into the cooler to get something to drink. And this is when I realized that it was starting to hit.
Because even though you already smoked a lot, you weren't like that experienced to take what the bong was about to do to you.
But I started to realize that when I was trying to get something to drink, it legit probably, I don't know if it was this long in real time, but in my mind, it felt like it took me at least 5 minutes to get that fucking drink. And then, but this is how I knew at least some time had passed, because when I fucking turned back with my drink, everybody that was sitting on the couch was now at the opposite end of your backyard. And I was like, where the fuck did everybody... And then I was like, all right, like, no big deal. Like, I'll just get up to go join them. And I fucking realized that I'm having a hard time getting up from the seat. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, like, because that's when it really started to sink in, like, how fucking high I actually was. And I was like, fuck, like, I have to do this. So I get up and I try walking over to you guys, and the best way I could describe how I felt.
Oh, I didn't know this part. Oh,
the best way I could describe how I felt.
Didn't know this part.
Was how you know how you see in cartoons how they show astronauts walking on the moon, like it's all slow and shit. That's literally how I felt trying to walk over to you guys at the opposite end of your backyard. And the thing too is, like, it was so bad that at the halfway point, I had to fucking sit down.
You're like fucking defying gravity.
And so at that point, when
you just gave up, you're like, no.
Yeah, when I sat down, that's when you came over to me.
Yeah, no, it's. Oh yeah, because you went. No, because I was already laying down. Because it hit me too. Like I was like, oh shit, I'm just gonna lay down real quick.
Wait, I remember you're the one that brought me into your room though.
No, I was already in my room. You walked in. I was laying down. First of all, you walked into my room without asking.
Fuck you, bitch, it was a party. What the fuck? You're not fucking home alone.
Like, imagine it was like 3 a.m. I'm home alone when you walked in. Hi, that would be crazy. But like, anyway, I was laying down because I was laying down, and I feel your presence when you sat on like the bed, on my bed next to me.
I didn't fucking sit on your bed.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. No, I remember this because you were like, he's like, I'm high. Like, you literally like, sat on my bed and was like, I'm high. I'm high. And I'm like, wow. The fuck am I gonna do?
No, wait. I don't remember. I think I just ask you for water?
Oh, yeah, I think you did too. I was like, can you give me water? Yeah.
No, because this is what happened. Because from what I remember, so I walked
in. To be fair, I was also high as fuck too, so things could be blurred.
Because from what I remember, I walked into your room and I had asked you for water, and then that's when I had like laid down in your bed when you went to go get me the water.
Yeah.
And
well, maybe
like,
you hit later.
Mouth, and like my mouth was like super dry, so legit after you had got me the cup of water, I had asked you again, and I think by the third time that I had asked you for a cup of water,
okay, yeah,
you were like, "Hey man, do you want to go home?"
It was partially for concern, and partially for being like, you need to just stop.
Fuck you.
I was like, I'm high too.
Me in my time
no, you know who didn't though? You know who offered? Was it George?
Yeah, it was George.
It was George.
Taking me home
because I think he took you home before he got fucked up.
Yeah, and then so I get home, right, and I'm like still pretty fucked up in my room, and I'm like, bro, like I don't think I've ever been to, like, I'm legit, because at the time I had an old Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And so I'm legit just checking the time and like, fuck, how long is this gonna last?
Like you're waiting for the doctors. You're like, oh, what is gonna be done with this patient? It's been 5 minutes. Like, but like you high.
But so that was like the end of my night, where I was like, I literally just kind of paced in my room, and then I like laid down and I just tried to like relax. So how did your night end?
I don't remember. I literally like ever since you left. I think I got more. I think I just like chilled, but I literally don't remember. You know, especially post pandemic, I've been forgetting a lot of shit. But you know, I was also really high that night, so it's just. But you know.
All right, so
yeah, no, that's an amazing story. I tell that story all the time, honestly, because it's such a funny story to me.
Okay, so I kind of want to wrap up a little bit.
Yeah, I was like looking at time. He was like, you know what?
Yeah, like we're good. We're going to give more stories, but I think we'll say, because also, like, to be honest, if we were to give all the stories, it would literally be like a 3-hour episode. So I think we should space them out. But that's definitely the time where at least I've gotten like the most high ever in my life.
Same.
But so kind of to cap it off, of course, we're going to get into our picks of the day segment. And before we actually get into it, I do want to give a kind of a honorable mention to a show that I just recently came across on Netflix, that I literally just saw it on like the trending page, I think, of Netflix. And I decided to like check out an episode and just be like, I just wanted to see what the show was about, because when I read the little description, it sounded kind of interesting to me. So I ended up watching the first episode, and now so there's 4 seasons, and so now I'm literally on the 3rd season as we speak. I don't know what it was. I just really enjoyed this show, and the show that I'm talking about is called Atypical, and it's basically about a teenager that has autism, and is like about him trying to adjust to the world and like how the world works. And then there's also like kind of internal shit happening with his family as well. It's a really good show. You know what's the one thing that did kind of throw me off though when I first started watching it?
What?
You know who plays the dad?
I've heard about the show, and I heard good things about the show, but I don't know who's in the show.
Michael Rappaport plays the dad.
What?
Yeah. Like,
what? How is he in this show and acts the way he acts?
No, yeah, that's the thing that like when I first because at first when I saw the first episode, I was like, is that fucking like, because I didn't know at first. I was like, dude, that guy looks really fucking familiar. And then so it was just an interesting thing to me to see him in the show, because I know that he's an actor, but I know him mainly as a comedian who like rants on social media about stuff.
Yeah, so, he was like a comedian.
Yeah, so that's what kind of blew me away, that he was in the show.
Really fucking annoying, dude.
Yeah, but so I will say that I do highly recommend the show. I've been really enjoying it, and I cannot wait to finish it. But as far as my pick of the day goes, I'm gonna throw it back, and I'm actually gonna test you a bit, Mike.
Wouldn't test me. I didn't study.
I wanna.
Is there another way to pass?
Because I want. So I kind of want to test your knowledge, because, of course, as you mentioned in the first episode, you are from East LA, so this should be down your wheelhouse.
I haven't listened to any of those musics in a while.
Because for my throwback,
I also don't know any names of the bands I listen to in East LA.
For my throwback, I'm gonna throw it back all the way to 1960.
I'm not gonna know anything from 60.
Yes, you should. You don't fucking listen to oldies.
No, my grandma plays them in the house, but I don't. I legit. Here's the thing about
like the Manhattans or any of that.
The Manhattans. I don't know, not recently. I know who the Manhattans are, but I haven't.
Like, bro, I'm honestly like low key kind of surprised a bit, just because like oldies is a big thing, especially like in our culture.
Yeah, I mean, so, I've listened. My oldies is old.
To be fair though, just to kind of give context.
Old boleros and like.
To be fair though, to give context,
psychedelic rock.
You do come from like a rock family.
Yes.
So it's not as surprising now that I kind of remembered that. But dude, so I just kind of now I'm curious to see if you even know the song. Mm-hmm. But so my pick of the day, I'm throwing it back to 1960, and this was like a very popular East LA doo-wop sort of hit that came out by a group called Rosie and the Originals, and the song is called Angel Baby.
Angel Baby.
And it was a really popular song that is still played because that's literally how I know about it, because of oldies. Because especially when I was younger and I would ride around with my older sister.
Mm-hmm.
She would listen to that type of music a lot, and so that's gonna be my pick of the day. Just a really nice throwback. Again, that is Angel Baby by Rosie and the Originals, which came out in 1960,
Mm-hmm.
and that is gonna be my pick of the day. So what do you got?
Yeah, no, yeah. And I my pick of the day. By the way, I will listen to that, see if I know or not, because there's like a lot of oldies I probably know, but I don't.
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure you've heard it.
listen
I'm
to.
pretty
Yeah,
sure once you listen to it, you'll
yeah.
probably know
I'll be
it.
like, oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, they come from a rock family, but this album I'm gonna recommend is a underground hip hop album from a star, Stahr. She's more well known for having like being like one of the main features on Guinness's on the MF Doom track, Guinness's, which is an amazing song, and she kills it in that song. And but like she has an album from 2018 that hasn't that is not really that well known as of now. I didn't know how it was received at the time, but like it has no misses. It's 55 minutes, but like each song is very amazing. It's called Mother Nature with a Molotov season. And this is like one of those like it feels like just like a an underground 2000s pure artistic lyricism like album. Like it's like the not only is it like lyrically amazing, but the beats are so like it's not like your typical like a lyrical miracle type thing, or even like a typical. There's a lot of MF Doom esque production around it, or like even like Little Brother esque production around it, like Ninth Wonder type stuff. But like, and I don't know much about the details of like who did the production or not, but like Molotov season. No, I'm sorry, Mother Nature with a Molotov season. Each track is lyrical amazement with ear grabbing production. Like that's a I just discovered this yesterday and I listened to it like three times. Like it's an amazing album and I wish it's from 2018 and I wish I like got on it sooner. Like a really fucking amazing rap album.
All right, so that's gonna be it for our picks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the third episode. And again, as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you listen to us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And if you want to follow all of our socials, the links, as always, will be down in the description.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you all in the next episode.
Mm-hmm. Bye.